What's up, everyone? This is SojuTalk, your weekly shot of K-pop. We're coming at you with a super spicy episode 277, and we're recording on April 8th, 2024. I'm Doug, and joining me today, we got Warren.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
And Anita's not here today. She went... Okay, I'm not going to dox or anything. She drove to see the eclipse, and she got to see the 100% eclipse that happened today. So that's why she's not here.
Yeah.
Completely understandable. I had where I live, I was supposed to get a 90% eclipse, but it was so cloudy, I barely saw anything.
Ooh, that's
to be honest.
I got a good decent view here in New York City.
You got the glasses? How expensive were they? Hard to get?
They were kind of hard to get. Quick story. Like I went to B&H Photo and Audio. There's a mega store in Manhattan. Mm-hmm. The line was literally wrapping around the block, and it was like at least like 3-4 hours. And it was about to close in 30 minutes. So I was like, I'm not gonna do this. Fuck this. I'm done. Whatever, eclipse, whatever, I don't care. And I'm walking home, and you know how in Midtown there's a bunch of like tourist stores?
Yes, there's a bunch of those.
All of them have signs that says, we have the eclipse glasses.
How much did you pay?
$5.
Oh, that's not bad.
No, it's
that's
not
fine.
that bad, yeah.
No, that's not bad. That's fine.
Yeah. So, hey, I got to see it. It was kind of alright.
It was okay.
Yeah.
The one for me, I had a better experience, like the one in 2017 or 18, whatever that one was.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
But this one was kind of shit, to be honest, for me.
All right.
As a quick reminder, check out SojuTalk on your favorite podcast platform, sub to us on YouTube, and join the SojuTalk Discord and be a part of the nation.
Yeah.
In the Afterhours segment this week, we're going to be talking about the state of SM entertainment. If you have been paying attention to the news over the past like year or so, after the acquisition BS happened, it hasn't particularly been going too well for SM. A lot of veterans have been leaving.
Yeah.
We're gonna have an overall discussion about what they're doing, the trajectory, all that type of stuff. So that's gonna happen there. In terms of the big new releases, we got 3 of them: Kiss of Life, Midas Touch, On and Off, By My Monster, Wua with Blush. Let's start at the top. Kiss of Life, Midas Touch. They are from S2 Entertainment. Last 3, Nobody Knows, Bad News, and Shh. I like Kiss of Life. Ooh. It's like a kind of refreshing group to have in the current K-pop sphere, you know? Because they're a group, the company S2 decided, well, let's have a more mature concept, but we'll actually do it correctly and have debut adults, not 14-year-olds in this group. Which has been one of those points of contention with a lot of these rookie groups is like, bro, there's literally a 14-year-old, and like the 16-year-old told me her hip is like a wagon. I don't know how to feel about this. But in this group, you don't gotta feel bad, you know? How do you feel about Midas Touch, Warren?
I like it too. I like it a lot. God, it's actually really good. Damn. Let's wrap up the show. There you go. We like it.
I heard someone on the Discord, Koro, said it reminds him of the Cheetah Girls. And I kind of think it kind of also reminds you of Mean Girls.
Yeah.
Like for some reason, people have been calling them that as well.
Yeah.
It's that vibe, you know. Like they know they're good, they know they're cool. They're letting you know, and it's just like deal with it.
It's the classic like early 2000s hip hop. Like you got Juicy written on your like sweatpants kind of vibe.
Oh my
Yeah. Like if you're thinking about K-pop from that era, it's like you got the Ivies, you got the Youngs, you got the Chaeyoungs, and you got Ihori in that group too, like the dance soloists. Obviously they're not soloists, but I feel like the music, the visuals, a lot of this is very, 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 very inspired by like the kind of music that was very active back then, like the mid-tempo but kind of also upbeat hip hop music that's kind of West Coast with the lead synths, you know what I mean? Like that's kind of what we're going for. It's powerful but kind of sexy, also kind of badass, you know, like
The second comment on YouTube is, quote, the only 5th gen group that aren't literally children.
Okay, first of all, we're not in the 5th gen. God damn it.
Whatever. We ain't gonna have this discussion about generations. But with Kiss of Life, there's a couple things to like here. Number one, you said, they're not solo artists, but they did have those very distinct solo tracks in the pre-debut.
They did.
And people say in the music videos, some of those motifs are being referenced. I couldn't see them off the top of my head because I don't remember a lot of those music videos. But I heard they're referencing the old stuff as well.
That's pretty cool. Yeah.
Additionally, I think the number one selling point about Kiss of Life versus some of their other contemporaries is that they have like a path that they're on, and it's very distinct and it's very unique to them, and it's working. The combination of all of those, which is kind of rare right now, because you see some of these younger groups, they're switching it up every time. You're kind of like, if you had to talk about another group's like, what kind of music is this group making? You'd be like, I don't know, meta music, right? Easy listening, right? Yeah, meta music. But when you talk about Kiss of Life, you kind of understand what it's coming with, and I think that's good at this point, because a lot of people don't really have like a defined sound that they're doing right now.
For sure. And like, if I think about the K-pop community, especially in the West, we've been using the phrase Y2K to kind of describe everything. Yeah. It actually applies here. Like, this is like actually like very clearly inspired by like Cheetah Girls or like Britney Spears or like, you know what I mean? Like the toxic kind of musicians. And I feel like their interpretation of it is both really doing two things really well. One, it's like replicating that sound really well. It's bringing back a lot of those nostalgic memories. But on the other hand, it's still got like a modern twist to it. There's still like all these modern K-pop cliches that are like thrown in. Like the structure, for instance, follows like a very typical modern K-pop structure. There's the verse, there's the build-up bridge, there's the chorus, and then you repeat, and then you go into the third run of the song. That's all there, and I really respect that, because I feel like pulling all of that together all at the same time is either gonna be really difficult to do or come off really corny, and it's doing neither of those things. I mean, I'm sure it was difficult to pull out, but you get the idea. You know what I mean? Like,
I also, I'd like Julie's rap section. I'm not saying she's the best rapper ever, but her delivery really fits the style. And additionally, even the way that someone like Belle sings their high notes also really fits the genre too, right? Because there's a lot of oomph behind it, which you kind of need in this group. If you had a singer with a more like thin voice doing the high notes, it probably wouldn't work as well. But the way she's delivering the notes, both her and the rapping of Julie, is just very impactful, and it completely fits what they're trying to do here.
Even like members like Hana, right? Like, I remember like if I go back to their debut single, their debut title track, Hana in particular felt kind of out of place. She was leaning more into like typical K-pop kind of vocal style, which is fine. It works. I'm not gonna beat around the bush there. It's all fine. But on the other hand, in this track, it feels like she's leaning a lot more heavier into the concept, which reminds me of her solo track off of their debut EP. And you know what? It works really well here. She's holding up her own against Belle, who's also like another amazing vocalist. And I know people point to different members in this group as the it person, but honestly, they're all doing really well here. Like, it's difficult to pull out.
It's very easy to root for Kiss of Life. You know, they kind of feel like the underdogs because they're from S2 Entertainment. Name something else from that company off the top of your head. The only thing I could think of was that Lee girl who got who appeared on Produce and then Idol School. She was from S2. It's the only thing I could think of from that company.
Hot Issue. Remember that group?
No. So that's why we like Kiss of Life. It's an underdog story. They're doing well, I think. Please support them because they have a distinct sound. They actually are age appropriate. There's a lot to like here, and I think that continues the trend. And if you think about Nobody Knows, and then you think about Midas Touch, they're not the same song by any stretch of the imagination, but they're hitting the same vibe, which I think is great.
Yeah, and like, if I think about the wave let's talk about the visuals for a second, right? Because like, if I think about their first two releases, their debut and their follow-up, both had music videos that were very plot driven. They were very story driven, especially with their debut. They had like a whole each member gets their single music video, and then that comes together, Avengers together in their title track. And that was really cool. But one of the comments I made was, with both of those, it felt like it was kind of reliant on the plot to drive the narrative home a little bit in terms of like who these people are and what kind of attitude these kids have and that kind of thing. Midas Touch leans a little away from that and does...
It's like generic Greek. I don't know how to put it.
No. It's like a typical K-pop music video. There's a lot of cool scenes, a lot of cool camera actions.
A lot of ancient Greek motifs.
Sure. There are moments where like it kind of looks like they're in like a temple, and it's like a Espa kind of moment.
It does feel like that. Wow,
Yeah.
you're right. Yeah, I
I'm
can
like,
see that.
now I'm like, okay, it's a combination of things. First off, I feel like this is my favorite title track from them so far.
Okay, yeah, I'll agree.
And because of that, even though the music video doesn't have like a stronger presence, I'm okay with that. It comes together. Like, I'm still having a really good time, even without the whole like plot component. And I understand there's like motifs thrown in there and whatnot, but at the same time, it's not as like clearly like this is what's going on. There's a story behind it, kind of a situation, like, you know, with the first two releases. So, yeah, overall, great video, great aesthetics, great song.
What would you rate this at? Spicy, tingly, mild.
Oh, this is spicy.
It's spicy, is
Spicy.
it not? Yeah, it
Yeah.
is. They're doing good. All right, let's move on to the next song. We have On and Off with By My Monster. They are from WM. Last three songs, Love Effect, Your Song, and Goosebumps. I'm going to say this is like a top 3 boy group track of the year so far.
Ooh, whoa.
There's just the
Okay.
On and Off. Like, I always thought On and Off was an extremely underrated group, even like pre-going into the military. If y'all remember, they were the group that like all the dudes went together pretty much
Was
at
it?
the same time.
Okay.
Yeah, it was them.
Wow.
And they were still releasing stuff like while they were in the military. They pre-recorded some stuff,
Oh,
so it
that's
didn't
smart.
feel like they were gone for too long. But now they're back in full swing. I thought this was a great track. I think this By My Monster song has what I'll describe as like kind of the Gen 2 boy group aesthetic to this track. I don't know how to really quantify that, but like for one instance, one guy has a deep voice. He's like rapping some lyrics. It kind of sounds like T.O.P. As Warren and I were discussing before the show. Some of the high what do you call it? The
The top line.
the top line. That's the word. That's the word we're looking
Oh,
for.
we're
You were saying some of the top line could remind you of like an Infinite track, which I really see that here for sure.
The melody of the chorus feels very sad. It's very emotional. It's like,
Yeah.
it's a proper like emotional, you know, kind of melodic kind of a chorus, instead of doing like a beat drop or like an anti-chorus.
No, I really like that. This and then TXT did it like last week. Did
Right.
a more emotional track. I
Right.
think it's great. It sounds very mature. It sounds strong. You could sing power vocals behind it. This song has like orchestra plus guitars. There's just so much going on.
And I just feel like this might be a personal bias that I need to get in check, but like personally, I feel like when Koreans make upbeat, depressing music, that's when we really frippin'
It's
shine.
good. It's
You know
good.
what I mean?
Good.
Like,
get
if you
exactly what you're saying.
think about trot music, it's just really fucking depressing music that you can dance to. Like, that's what we're really good at as a country, and like this is an example of where that really shines, I think. But like that's not to say like all like the rest of the track is not just doing plain same shit as the predecessor. It's really good. One thing I noticed was that intro with the pianos is really. I don't know. I thought it pulled out a B-side. I'm not gonna lie, because that's not really an intro to a K-pop song you get these days. You know, like the intro piano. It's like bum 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 bum. That rhythm, it's a very popular rhythm that's used in all sorts of instrumental music. But like in K-pop, I don't know, not very often. And each time you visit that kind of a atmosphere in the song, like let's say the beginning of a second verse, the rhythm is different arrangement, completely different situation, and they never get really lazy anywhere at any point with the arrangement and the use of instruments and the strings and the pianos, and like it continually keeps on evolving, and I think that's really cool. You know what I mean? Like, and like here's the thing, like. You might be saying like, oh, Warren, you only care about that shit because you pay attention to all that shit. But like at the same time, you're gonna notice if it gets repetitive. This is the reason it doesn't get repetitive throughout the song. It never gets mopey. These sad songs have a big risk of running mopey whenever like they get too repetitive or like that kind of thing.
That's really true.
Yeah. And like they put a lot of effort into making this song very upbeat, very like engaging throughout the entire. What like
You hit them with the piano.
Yeah.
Then you add in some strings.
Right.
And then you punch them in the face with some guitars in the chorus all of a sudden.
Right. Like that's
It's just magical, right?
Yeah.
Like that like progression is so good.
Yeah.
Because you're like, all right, these guys are some depressed dudes. Now, if you just have like a really sad chorus, it's gonna be like, well, this is just a Debbie Downer of a song, right?
Right.
But then you hit them with the guitar, and then the dance is powerful all of a sudden, and it's like, wow, you got a good package here.
Like,
it's great.
I'm usually not a big fan of dance breaks, but like the second half of the chorus where like it goes into just strings and like they're just dancing, like that was very necessary, both in terms of this being K-pop, both in terms of this being a good arrangement, like all of it coming together. Like that was, I don't know, man. Like this is
their dance
works.
moves do have a hint of modern dance in it, not just like standard K-pop dancing.
Does it?
The way I'll describe it, there's a lot of reaching. You know what I mean? Like, ooh, like a lot of that, right? Like a lot of that, which I attribute some of it into modern dance.
But like all of that's really cool. Like there's like a lot of cool shots in the music video that comes because of those moments. You know what I mean? Like there's a moment 255-ish, if I recall. Yeah, I'm right. 255. The guy with the pens reaching out, and then all the members, their arms grabbing onto the arms. Like that's, I don't know. That was a cool shot. That was my favorite shot in the music video. Clearly, you don't remember, but
no, I don't. I'm trying to find it.
255, Doc. 255.
But overall though, you got to listen to this on and off track, guys. Don't not listen to this one. It's really good. I'll even say it was my favorite track this week.
You know, I'm with you. This is my favorite track of the week too. Yeah.
Like as we said, I started this program saying probably a top 3 boy group track. I would probably group in that To Us plot twist song because I was a big fan of that from the start, right? And then I will probably also throw in maybe the Rise song.
Oh.
Which I've kind of come around to as of late.
Okay. See?
And then I would maybe, if I was gonna also have another song, I would argue maybe you put in there probably the TXT song from last week, but it's a combination of those ones. Those are the ones I thought were really good.
I think all of those are really good. But to be quite frank, Buy My Monster sticks so much out from the rest of their peers right now. Just because it does a lot of things that a lot of K-pop songs these days don't do. That whole, like, I don't know, man. Like, that piano arrangement and the orchestra arrangement, like, dude, like, immediately, I'm like, that's this, bam. Like, this is the shit. That's my shit right there.
Dude, and the strings. When you get those, like, dreamlike strings coming in, it really feels like a Gen 2 song for some reason, right? There was a lot of that back then.
We used to do a lot of those. Yeah, no, I mean.
And it was fantastic. I don't know why we went away from that. But it's
like,
really good.
That's not to say like this song's just a repetition of like what Infinite used to do, right? Because like there's a lot of moments that are like clear allusions to like current metas in K-pop, right? Like in the second verse, once it starts picking up, it goes into a straight Moombahton moment.
Yep.
I'm like, okay, I didn't see that coming. Here we are, and it works.
Yeah,
bro, it fucking works.
This track just works. It's one of those timeless tracks that you could just listen to and you'd be like, this is a good track. Regardless.
This is a good track. Yeah. Like
this is a track that you would turn on a generic K-pop playlist on the background. And then this track comes on. And then you go, what's this track? And you go look at it in the playlist. You know what I mean?
Shazam.
Right? Like, yeah. Some like, even
Siri,
if you're
tell me the song.
Computer, you're just like, you're at work, you have the random Spotify playlist on, the songs are going, and then you listen to this one like, what the hell is this? Wait, and then you look over.
Sorry, can you pause the show? My Siri and my Shazam is going off right now. Good lord.
Because you said it.
Because I said that during the thing. Okay.
You don't have to pause it. It's fine.
No, we're fine. Okay.
Yeah.
Look.
This is spicy. This is definitively spicy.
This is also definitively spicy for me. Damn. I'm gonna guess because most of our listeners, our girl group listeners, they have not checked out Buy My Monster. I would, if you still have not checked out QWER, I would check out. I would check out. Here's the thing. I would check out Buy My Monster, and then I check out the QWER track, like those two songs back to back, and you're gonna have a good time. Trust me.
I've been watching so much of the QWER performances and behind the scenes stuff.
Have you now?
It's kind of trolly, dude. Some of it. It's kind of weird considering some of the girls in this QWER are like influencers, so they like act a certain way at times. Do you know how I mean? Like they know what they're doing.
Okay, I mean, yeah,
Yeah, so
They know
so
their target audience very well.
Yeah, it's going well. All right, spicy. We both said spicy. Let's move on to the last
Spicy.
song. We got Ua with Blush. They are from SSQ Entertainment. Last three songs: Roller Coaster, Danger, and Catch the Stars. I think we covered all of those. But they came back
Right.
after like 2 years with Blush. Let me look up exactly how long it's been. I know it's been a hot minute.
Oh, I can pull it up.
See.
Pita Pat was November of 2022 with Roller Coaster.
November 2022 to April 2024. That's a long time, guys.
That's a long time.
But Blush is composed by Ryan John. It's a Ryan John track.
Okay.
Hey, man can't do it for his own group, but he could do it for other groups sometimes. This one's pretty good from Ryan John and Ua, right?
I mean, Ryan John writes a lot of songs to the point. Okay, maybe there's a hot take on Ryan John, but like he writes so many songs to the point where like I don't.
You're bound to have some good ones.
Yeah, you're bound to have some good ones. You're also bound to have some bad ones. Most of them are made. But I agree with you. I like Blush.
Oh, it's a good track.
Yeah.
The only thing I'll say about this song is it is really conforming to a lot of the trends. This is one of that songs that we talked about earlier in Kiss of Life. We're like, this is like a Y2K type thing going on here. It sounds like the meta of girl groups, right?
Listening.
This song falls into all of those things.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
Oh, yeah.
What I will say is, at the end of the day, this Blush song, it's a good track, but is it the right track to give a group that hasn't had a song in like 2 years? Probably not.
I mean, like, how do you follow up a year and a half of a gap? You know what I mean? Like,
I feel like you and like, are you gonna take a big risk after that long? You know, are you gonna change it up all of a sudden?
I mean, this is a bit of a change up, but then again,
It
like,
is.
yeah. I mean, then again, like Roller Coaster and like their previous releases before that felt very much like in the vein of like nothing too crazy.
Yeah, they were kind of like generic upbeat girl group tracks with some electronica in it. You know. A lot of them.
I mean, look, all of that's good. They go along with the meta to a certain degree. So I get why it made sense to do something like this. And if anything, it's one of the better arrangements that I've heard. It's like it's got this like drum and bass rhythm with like a plug and B kind of vibe. There's a lot of good melodies. Like I really like the chorus. It's as simple as it is. It understands what it needs to do. It's simple, it's repetitive, it's a little catchy, but it's not too like repetitive to the point where it gets annoying. You know what I mean? It's like easy to catch on to, doesn't get annoying, and it's comfortable to listen to. And I feel like a part of the song that really comes out is the part where they say, "I feel like money." That part.
Okay, but it had to be intentional that it sounds like I feel like money when it's not, right? Because I feel like mani in Korean means many or a lot.
A lot.
Right?
A lot. Yeah.
I feel like a lot, but it clearly to Western audience is gonna sound like I feel like money.
I mean,
Hey, I feel like money is a good thing too.
I do want to feel like money. Like those
It's a phrase. I've heard that. I feel like $1,000 today. You know, I think. All right, maybe I'm the only person who said that.
That's a little
before, but,
different.
like,
Yeah. Look.
Yeah.
But okay. All of that aside, like, okay, it sounds like money, but like besides that, like it just sounds really pleasing to listen to. Like,
yeah, there's just something very earwormy about this track as a whole, right?
yeah, and like the thing is, like every time that part comes up in the song, there's like more going on to the point where like by the end of the song, there's like 3 layers going on with like I feel like money, 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 money. You know what I mean? Like that's like I don't know. That was kind of dope. Like that was a good vibe. It'll leave you listening. What more do you want? You know what I mean?
I agree.
Yeah. Although there were other things that in the lyrics that kind of ticked me off. Start of the second verse, Doug. I don't know if you caught this. But the second verse literally begins with moonlight, sunrise.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. I mean, like,
I'm levitated. Yeah.
no, not even that. Not twice.
Oh, you're talking that too? Okay.
Moonlight, sunrise, baby, come to my starlight.
What's the I need to hear that real quick, just so I could I gotta find it in this.
Okay.
Oh, I found it.
Okay. 057.
Oh wow. Okay, it sounds just like it.
It
Yeah,
sounds
you're right.
just like the chorus of the Twice track, just for a couple seconds. So it's not plagiarism. I'm not accusing it of them copying or anything. It's just, you know, when you recognize things like that here and there, it breaks you out of the engagement, if you will, you know, that kind of thing. You get the idea. It's kind of weird. But hey, if I think about UA, I don't know why they were on a long hiatus for this long, but I can guess
it might have something to do with the fact that Nana was on Kingdom Puzzle.
You know what the thing is, like, all the girls in L's Up, and I can say this because Rocket Punch, all the groups that L's Up is a part of, it's like not.
They're all kind of floundering, right?
They're all kind of funky.
Other than Hikey's doing well.
Well, that and Purple Kiss.
Okay, Purple Kiss.
Like, regardless of what you say about what we feel about Purple Kiss, we can all agree they've been active. Yeah, I don't know. Like, there was a moment where like L's Up came back and they were simultaneously working their ass off with like their original groups. Shout outs to Yoni. But I don't know, man. Look, I'm sure the reason it took them this long to come back is probably something to do with the, you know, it's expensive to run a K-pop group, and you know, it's a lot of money to start a comeback going, and you know, there's only so much money you can make if you're not, you know, A tier. Fine. But
is that the story with the Rocket Punchers?
Do
you think they're screwed? I've been meaning to ask you this for a hot second.
Why are we going down?
Well, you brought up L's Up, and I wanted to like.
I was trying not to talk about it, you mother.
No, L's Up's interesting. Oh yeah, you got K Lovely's, right?
Yes.
Lovely's is essentially they're not promoting, but they did make a TV appearance last week. So on UJ Sucks, Hang Out With You, Norma Mohani, Lovely's appeared as a full group minus Jin because she was busy.
Really? Wow.
And that show is doing like a festival concept, and Lovely's is gonna perform at the festival.
That's shocking, given like Lovely's doesn't really
because
have
Miju's
a home.
on the show. That's why.
So she brought everybody back together.
Yeah, Miju got them work.
Wow.
More or less. Yeah, so Miju, more or less, with her star power, said, no, we're gonna do Lovely's for this thing because we're doing musical groups.
Who's managing that whole thing? God, okay, whatever. I don't care.
But they're doing that. Yeon's kind of doing her own thing. Uju Sonya, we're still waiting. I don't know. That's the most confusing one because it felt like they had a lot of momentum at one point. And then Rocket Punch, you know how that's going. Wu just came back. Hikey's doing well. Purple Kiss just came back. But Rocket Punch and Uju Sonya, we need music, guys.
Here's my okay. Let me summarize how I feel about Rocket Punch in a couple of sentences. And it's not too far off from what I've always been saying about them. They have a lot of albums that in the beginning were like, ooh, this is Rocket Punch, the color series. We're trying to find their color. What best suits them, you know? I'm like, that's cool, man, but like we gotta figure something out. Figure out a character that sticks instead of blankly doing, you know, Diet Coke versions of other concepts that are popular at the moment. You can only go so far with that. This has always been in my head. There always will be exceptions to that rule where like there are groups who continuously change up their concepts and they're continuously popular, but one, they need to be incredibly lucky, and two, they need a lot of third-party force in order to maintain that level of popularity. I'm looking right at Oh My Girl right now. They've been very fortunate. They also have put in all the effort and work that goes into making those songs really, really good. I get that too. But on the other hand, they've been popular through like other venues. Every time they kind of lose a bit of relevance. Like,
yeah, someone pops off in that group all of a sudden.
Right. And that,
whether it's like Aden acting or maybe variety or you are doing solo, things like that.
Right.
Yeah.
And like that is such a high risk action. strategy where I'm like, you know what I mean? Like, why don't we take a safer route and like, so with Rocket Punch, my concern, and this applies to a lot of the mid-tier girl groups, is like if you don't figure out who the hell you are 2 years into your career, like damn, like you're like good luck continuing to grow.
The unfortunate thing with Rocket Punch is that Chiquita was 8 on Circle Chart at one point, Flash was 13, Boom was 26. So they were charting okay. They made it on the chart at some point, right?
Yeah.
But the album sales are always within like 2,000. They're always plus or minus like 5,000 of 25,000. Do you know what I mean? Like they have the most stagnant album sales chart I've ever seen in my life.
It essentially became a situation of we can't make a. It became a situation of we don't have enough money to make an album. Therefore, we put out a mediocre release that doesn't make a lot of money. Therefore, we don't have enough money to make it. You know what I mean? Like it becomes a
it's like a negative feedback loop.
It is more or less. And like it would be one situation if the company itself is doing particularly well, but I mean, Woollim
is doing. Yeah.
There's companies that are not doing as well as Woollim. I'll be honest with you, but there are definitely companies that are doing better than Woollim in that tier of companies. Why did you bring this up? Now I'm pissed off.
I just wanted to.
The hell, man! I was in a good mood. You had a lot of good songs.
All right, let's bring this back.
Blush is spicy. I like the song.
I'll put it at a high tingly for me.
Fine.
I don't think. I think the problem with me is this is one of those shows. Like, oh, this is pleasant, but will I come back and be like, I gotta listen to Blush? Probably not, to be honest.
Really, I feel like I could. There's a lot of good moments in the song. Although once we move on from this trend, then I might also be like, I might forget about that.
Hey, I apologize for bringing up the sore subject of the Rocket Punches, but I've been meaning for like a while to talk to you about it. To be honest,
life is hard, man.
Other songs this week include Tori Kelly released Spruce featuring LE SSERAFIM's Chaewon.
Huh?
So that happened.
What?
Yeah, that was a track.
Interesting.
A group named Spia debuted with, I don't want to say this name, but their debut track is called Daddy's Little Girl.
Oh, no.
There's another group called Nowadays. They debuted this week with the song called Oh We, I think.
What is going on?
Yeah, Oh We is their one. Then we had Bang Ye-dam and aespa's Winter released Officially Cool. That's cool. I guess that's the thing. We had Catch the Young Voyager, Drippin', Beautiful Maze. That's is Drippin'. What company is Drippin'? Aren't they Woollim?
Drippin' is Woollim, yes.
It is! Okay. I.M from Monsta X released Lure. I-DLE 1 released IMMM.
I-DLE 1. I-DLE 1.
I-DLE 1 released IMMM. TIOT released Moonrise, which is a pre-debut, and then G-idol's Yugi, she had a pre-release for her solo debut called Could It Be. So those were the other tracks this week. How about Daddy's Little Girl?
Dude, this song better be literally about their dad.
I don't know. I did not listen to it.
It better be about their literal dad.
All right, we're at Spice King. Last week, episode 276. I-DLE with Magnetic picked up its second crown. It is eligible for Hall of Spice this week. It is trying to join NMIX Dash, LE SSERAFIM Easy, Chungha, Eeny Meeny featuring ATEEZ Hongjun for this year's Hall of Spice. New candidates are Kiss of Life, Midas Touch, On and Off, By My Monster, and then Wua's Blush. Warren, you sent me the chart. Did you?
I will do that as you.
Okay, I'll go over my chart.
Yeah.
Third place. I mean, I probably should have the QWER track, but I don't.
What the hell?
I'm gonna put TXT Deja Vu instead.
Whoa.
Third place this week. I have fallen off of the Chungha I'm Ready train. I know last week I was claiming this song's gonna go viral. This song's gonna be the next Roll-It. I was like, I went too far. I got too excited, guys. I completely recant people in the comments were saying, I like the track too, but Doug went a little too far. I completely agree with everyone who commented that last week. I was reading it myself and regretting it the following morning. So that's what happened there. So that was down on my chart this week. Second place, I have Oh, it's between On and Off and I-DLE. Oh, I like both of these tracks so much. I'm going to put On and Off in second by like a hair. And then I'll put I-DLE Magnetic in first.
Wow.
I've been listening to this Magnetic track all the time. It's like everywhere.
Wow.
The stupid finger thing they do too, the dance movement. You, and then this thing. Yeah, it's everywhere. I'm going to put that one in first. So that is my chart.
Oh, no, I haven't. I think I've been on the Magnetic hype train a little less than everybody. I think it's a good song. Just haven't been excited about it. Yeah, I did come back to it a little bit, but it's not on my chart today. Although I completely understand why it's first place for a lot of people. What is first place is By My Monster by On and Off, ONF.
Oh, thank God.
Good song. God, y'all sleeping. Wake up. Open your eyes. Open your third eye. Second place is QWER.
Ooh, okay.
Damn, everybody's also sleeping. There was one person who voted for it. Shout out to you, man. Addiction to Worry is a dope song. Yeah, everybody I introduced the song to were also like, wow, this is very, very nice. I like.
Great. It's a great track.
Good song. So check that out if you still haven't. That leaves me with third place, which is Midas Touch by Kiss of Life. Man,
all right.
Yeah, good. Also a good banger. Like just a great interpretation of that genre and that era of music. So, what can I say? I can't complain. God
wow.
damn.
All right. A couple things. This QWER track, Warren.
Yeah. What's up?
It's made it onto iChart. That's pretty cool.
Nice.
Yeah. On I know you like to look at Melon. It's 54th on Melon.
Oh
right
wow.
now.
Wow. That's
Not terrible.
That's doing well.
18th on Bug's real time chart.
Wow. Hey,
So
there you go.
it's doing relatively well. I want to talk about iChart real quick. You know, that G-Idle Fate track is absolutely dominating still.
It really is.
And then we have Magnetic, and then we have the To Us Chapman Nam song, Bamyang Gang, and then
Dearest,
what's the
my
last
darling.
one? Love Wins All is the fifth. Yeah, and then Easy. That's kind of standard right now.
Yo, Fate has 64 perfect all kills.
For a B-side. That's crazy.
Mad. That's crazy.
All right, but going back, we don't have Anita's vote, but we do have the SojuTalk Nation and Gochu Gang. They voted this week. In third place for them, Wua Blush.
Oh.
With 37 points.
Nice.
Second place, Kiss of Life, Midas Touch with 69. Nice. And then we have first place, I-DLE Magnetic, 83. Bro, if I had put On and Off first, I-DLE would not be entering the Hall of Spice this week. But because I was smart enough to do it, Kiss of Life came in third place this week. Midas Touch with 4 points. On and Off with By My Monster has 8 points. And in first place with 10 points via my and the SojuTalk Nation Gochu Gang first place votes is I-DLE Magnetic picking up its third crown, entering the Hall of Spice.
Woo, let's go, let's go.
Any other week, I would have put On and Off first, I think. It's that close.
But I-DLE Magnetic was just that good.
Yeah, it is.
What's it joining,
finally,
Doug?
we're at show winners. Warren, hit us with them.
Show winners. Hi. NCT Dream. Dude, guess how many wins they had? They had 4 wins with Smoothie on Show Champion, M Countdown,
crazy.
Music Bank, and Show Music Core. Yeah, so shout outs to NCT Dream. G-Idle goes on their B-side rampage with their second win with Fate on Inkigayo. And I-DLE makes their first win from their debut on the show with Magnetic. So, hey, good job, guys. I'm real proud of you guys. Keep on winning.
In terms of the rookie groups, I have a news article, which I was gonna reference later, but I think it's better to just do it now.
Sure.
Okay, Baby Monster, not I-DLE. They broke the record for the highest first week sales by a K-pop girl group on Hanto.
Wow.
So Baby Monster sold 392,000 in the first week.
Sorry, how many? What?
392K, and they broke I-DLE's record. I think I-DLE had like 340,000 or something in the first week.
Wow. Okay.
So these new, like really new rookie groups who are finally selling albums are doing extremely well.
I'm even seeing adjusted numbers for 400,000.
Yeah, it could be true.
This brings them to 11th highest album sales of all time on the first week.
Yeah, so I-DLE and Baby Monster sold a shit ton of albums for rookie groups.
That's
People care all of a sudden. That's great for them.
yeah.
All right, that ends part 1. SojuTalk episode 277. We'll be back after a short break. 3, 2, 1.
Hello, SojuTalk Nation. This is Anita here with a quick PSA. If you would like to support SojuTalk Kpop Podcast, please like, subscribe, or follow us on whatever platform you're using. And consider joining our Patreon at patreon.com/SojuTalk or donating to us at paypal.me/SojuTalk. On behalf of the crew and myself, thank you. Now back to our regularly scheduled episode.
All right, we are back at it with part 2 of SojuTalk episode 277. Warren and I are going to talk about the news and events from the last week. There's like 3 dating newses that happen. The first one is aespa's Krina and actor Lee Jae-wook have reportedly broken up.
Okay.
It took all of like a month after it got exposed,
Yikes.
which is kind of unfortunate.
That's a little sad.
There was clearly a lot of online pressure about this relationship. I ain't going to comment on that.
I hope you're happy.
Shame on some people is what I will say.
I hope you're happy.
Let's move on to the next one. So this was the big one for this week. Twice's Chaeyoung and Zion T reportedly to be in a relationship. The interesting thing about this is it is the same news person that dropped the Geo dating news.
Whoa, okay.
And their sources, they don't claim like anyone told them or no one told them. Their sources is like we saw them together. Like so they're the ones doing the stalking.
So it's just one dude who's doing a really good job of stalking twice to the point where they
or
dug
one
up.
person at this news agency is doing a great job of stalking.
That's
It's called Sway. They're like the new dispatch apparently.
Oh.
They're doing the stalking.
wow. Okay, I mean, like,
In their article, the source article, it even says exclusive at the beginning.
oh no,
Yeah.
we got a new TMZ in town. Oh boy, all right.
I
Hey,
don't know how to feel about that, but
I mean, Chaeyoung and Zion T. I didn't expect that.
Uri.
Ebokaza.
So that happened, and then they confirmed it. JYP Entertainment confirmed that Twice Chaeyoung and Zion T are in a relationship, and the two are currently meeting with good feelings.
There you go.
Fine.
There you go.
Hey, that's happening. Can we get a solo album though? Is that too hard to ask for, guys?
Can Zion T produce it?
Be pretty cool, wouldn't it?
He's a good artist. Check out his solo. That's a good
and
album.
then the final one was, according to Shukan Bunshun, which is apparently a Japanese
It is, yeah.
thing, they said that LE SSERAFIM Kazuha is reportedly dating a male idol. And then they also dropped it's a male idol that is 6 years older than her. Like they knew who the guy was she was seen with, but they were just dropping hints. But HYBE denied the relationship, and the person Kazuha met for meal was just a friend that she met for a meal. We found out who that is though. So there's a guy at HYBE who was on Island, but he did not make the team. But he is now in the HYBE Japanese boy group called An Team. His name is K. He is the leader of that group. That is the guy she was seen with.
Oh.
So yeah, and then people all of a sudden were like, "Well, how do they know each other? When did they meet? Are they actually friends? Are they making this up? Y'all are looking too far into it. Who cares?" But yeah, so the rumor essentially was between Kazuha and this guy K from the group and Team.
I mean, Shukan Bunshun, like, if you want to read into it, go for it. But at the same time, it's like, you don't need to take him too seriously, personally. Like, Doug, do you know the sun?
The
The
what
sun.
do you mean by the sun? Like the thing in the sky?
No, okay, not the thing that we.
The newspaper in England. The
yeah,
sun.
yeah.
Okay.
It's kind of like that. It's kind of like the TMZ. It's like, sure, like they cover gossip.
You know what's the saddest part about this is you cannot have platonic friends of the opposite, like you can't have friends in Korea, it seems.
Japan,
these
apparently.
people write articles. I remember there's a rapper named Dindin who does a lot of variety these days. He was at a department store with his sister, and then there were dating rumors that he was dating someone the day after. And he's like, bro, I was buying my sister a bag or something. You guys saying we're dating?
Yeah.
It's wild. Like, and some of these kids have known each other for like before they were idols. You know, some of these kids grew up together, but if they're seen together, instantly rumors come out.
Also,
Kinda
like
sad.
maybe a hot take, but like Kazu's an adult. Like if you read
He's an adult.
if you read the article, it's like, oh, they had like expensive yakiniku together. They were driving around together, and then they went home to like each other's homes. You know what I mean? Like she went home to her home, and he went home to his home. And I'm like, if they're dating, wouldn't they like not do
Go to
that?
the same place?
Yeah, like guys, like come on, like
Yeah. I don't know.
I wouldn't
kind
take
of
this seriously.
All right, next thing. According to the Korean Fair Trade Commission, HYBE Entertainment has become a conglomerate. The first entertainment to become a conglomerate. HYBE's total assets went up about 10% last year, totaling more than 5 trillion won, and consisting of 16 affiliates, including Weverse, Big Hit Music, Pledis Entertainment, and more.
Wow.
So there's some classification. It's called like a Daegiup,
Yeah.
Jeep or whatever, which is the term for like a conglomerate in Korea, and you get that when you surpass 5 trillion won in a single year of commerce, and they've done that now.
Taegyeop literally just means like big company.
Yeah, so they are
That's it.
really like a giant company now.
Yeah.
Now, there's implications, you know, people talk about monopoly and things like that, but like, hey, for what it is, that company pulled in like $5 billion last year, which is absolutely ridiculous.
That's crazy.
If you go to Yongsan in Seoul, they built that whole building off of the success of the company, right? Particularly BTS. But they built the building. I saw another article. I don't think I listed it in today's, but there was an article talking about like which of the K-pop companies have the best wages and who's hiring the best talent. And they said by far the combination of the two HYBE's doing the best. And then SM, and then YG, and then there's a huge fall off to JYP. They said JYP's like paying people like if you work at JYP, you're getting paid half the amount you would if you work at HYBE.
Okay. That's
Yeah.
not exciting to hear as someone who has a
So
salary.
the article was more implying like sure it's fine in the right now, but they said going forward it might have effect on the whole product
Okay.
at the end side.
That's not really exciting to hear.
Yeah. Let's keep going. Next one. So Boa revealed that she plans to retire, or potentially plans to retire, once her active contract with SM ends.
Oh no.
She kind of posted it on her Instagram. She was
what?
like, yeah, she more or less she wrote the word retire wrong. Like instead of unte, she put like she spelt it incorrectly too, so people were confused by what she meant. But she clarified like, no, I meant retirement. She's like asking. She more or less was asking, is it okay if I retire after this contract's over? So I'm thinking about it.
Wow. I mean, okay. That's crazy. I mean, she's had a very rough career.
Yeah.
She's been very active for a very long time. She debuted in what, 2000? Was it 2000? When she was
She also
14.
she also like clarified what she said, and she said like my contract doesn't end till December 31st, 2025 anyway, and she said don't worry, until then I'll give my 100%. So it seems like she's really thinking about it.
Yeah, I mean, like, think about her age. Like, I would want to retire too. You know what
Let's
I mean?
put it this
Like,
way: she's done everything. She's made a shit ton of money. She never has to work again in her life. Maybe she doesn't want to be in the public eye anymore. You know,
Yeah.
could happen. Just because someone's a celebrity at the time or is a singer at the time does not mean you're entitled to know everything they're doing for the rest of their life. You know, and maybe she just wants to actually have a real normal person life.
I mean, she's a legend. She's a queen. Dude, do your thing, man. If you want to take it easy and, you know, live out the rest of your life doing something else, hey, go for it. Like,
Yeah.
why stick to doing this?
The next one's a funny one. So, GF Entertainment shared that the boy group
What? What?
I don't know, dude. They're gonna come back on April 30th, but they've changed the name from Kingdom to the Kingdom.
That sounds so fucked up. I'm sorry.
Yeah. People are thinking it's because of like SEO reasons, like search engine stuff, but
No,
it's really awkward.
no.
It's an awkward name. You think it's just being provocative for the sake of it?
It's not gonna help with your SEO, guys. Like, this is no.
Isn't that awkward?
Now it just sounds like you're like into some kinky shit. Like, dude, like really?
Yeah.
Guys,
what if they play into it with the next comeback?
No.
What if they do a Shades of Grey comeback? So that apparently happened. Next one. CJ E&M announced that Wake One will be merging with Swing Entertainment starting on June 1st. The merger was decided as it would make the logistics of managing Zero Base One easier. This kind of makes sense when you know how CJ used to have all of these weird companies like sub entertainment labels that they made up.
Yeah.
And it just never made sense. And over the years, they've been just like puzzle piecing them. Like, well, Frumbus is under this group, but these trainees are under this one, and Joyudi's under this one, and ZB1's under this one. They're just kind of consolidating to make more sense.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I think that's just smart to do in general. I don't know why we couldn't just name it like CJ E&M 2 or something, like just do some really simple name where everyone knows what it is, you know?
I mean, no. The point of Wake One was to be a combination of MMO, Stone, Off the Record, and like
all those ones.
Yeah. Swing is just now joining that list for whatever reason.
They're doing that. Next one. Big Planet Made confirms plan to debut their first girl group Bad Villain within the first half of 2024. If y'all are living under a rock, but Big Planet Made is that company that's making a lot of moves. They're signing everyone right now. Kind of feels like what P Nation was doing for a while, where they were signing everyone who's leaving all these big companies. But they have Taemin, VVZ, Bio, Imujin, Hasung-un, Newest Ren, Hugok, Performance Director. Is that Casper the Rapper? Is it?
I don't think so.
No way, right?
No way.
Kenny and Entertainment Isugun are all under Big Planet Made.
Entertainer Lisugun, that's a little random. But it makes sense because his good buddies run the company, and they have been for a while. Big Planet Made isn't coming out of nowhere. It does hold a lot of the same group of people that was at Million Market a couple years back, which does loop back up to SM Entertainment. So like this isn't like coming out of nowhere. It's coming out of Double Sidekick, if you know who that composer duo is. So, yeah.
Okay, let's keep going there. Next one we got is Kepler will be making their comeback next month in May. It's their final album ahead of the disbandment of the group.
Really? Already? Oh my god.
Man, this group is like, I wonder what's gonna happen after the fact, right?
Oh man.
You think Zhao goes back to China?
Yeah.
Yeah?
That's
right?
the most obvious one, I think.
You know, Mashiro was on Gangnam's YouTube channel this past week.
Oh.
Where she's apparently like TOEIC level 5 or something, like the highest you could be.
Wow.
And she was competing against Gangnam as to who knows Korean better. Like,
well, that's a little sad for Gangnam.
Yeah, but I wonder what's gonna happen. I think Kepler's run been pretty good. Not at the level of like IZ*ONE's run was, but it's been okay, I would say.
Man, I mean, I just can't believe it's already been that long. We'll have to do like a Kepler catch up in terms of like how we feel about their future careers at some point.
Yeah, this one I'm not super invested in the group as a whole. Like I like some of the kids, but we'll have to look into like what the options are going forward.
Yeah.
All right, next thing. Apparently, it was not confirmed, but Jenny might feature on Zico's new song that's gonna come out later this month.
Oh.
So it's the 10th anniversary of his solo debut, and it appears that Jenny might be featuring on the track. Not confirmed though.
That would be nice.
Wouldn't that be nice? And then Jenny can start to do music again, and then we can get her solo thing, and everyone will be very excited.
Why is it? Is it 10 years? Oh my god.
Yeah, since his solo debut.
That's gonna be in November though. That's gonna be a while. Okay, I'm looking this up. His solo debut was with Tough Cookie featuring Don Mills. That was 2014, November 7th. tough cookie, nothing.
Maybe he kind of just thinks of it the 10th anniversary like the year.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
Okay,
Maybe that's what they're doing. Next one, Shiny Onyu has signed an exclusive contract with Griffin Entertainment. I do not know a lot about Griffin Entertainment. Let me look this up. He's the only artist there, so maybe it's just a one man, but I'm not completely sure.
Okay. Their CEO was previously Zico's manager.
Okay,
Yeah.
but he's the first artist. I'm looking at Griffin Entertainment Twitter. They joined in March, and there's like 5 posts, and they're all Onyu. That's it. That's all they got.
I'm looking at their Instagram. They got 6 posts. 5 of it is all new. Actually, 6 of it is new. So yeah, there you go.
Yep, new company for Onyu. Previously Taemin left, and we mentioned previously he's at Big Planet Made. Next one, GOT7's Youngjae has left Sublime. I feel like didn't a lot of these GOT7 dudes just go to these new companies like last year or something?
Hasn't it been like 3 years?
It might have been actually. Let me
Dude,
check real quick.
time just flies so fast.
All right.
Can
Oh
you
yeah,
believe-
2021. He's been there like 3 years.
Yeah.
Never mind. Well, he left that company. Hopefully, he could find a good company down the line. Next one. Icon's Bobby and Chanu are enlisting into the military. May 21st, May 27th, respectively. So we will not be seeing Bobby for 2 to 3 years.
That is a terrible picture of both Bobby and Chanu in this double
Yeah,
set.
these are terrible pictures.
This is
but,
awful, man.
they're going. So best of luck to
Best
them.
of luck to them.
Next one, Water Bomb Soul. We got the lineup, guys.
Ooh.
Nayeon from Twice, Taemin, Sunmi, Chungha, Water Bomb Queen herself, Eunbi, Hwasa, Kiss of Life, Zico, Crush, Jessie, Changmo, BB, Yua from Oh My Girl, Simon Dominic, Uwonjae, J Park, Loco, Gray, Eyoungji, Kugi.
Oh, wow.
This is a crazy lineup.
This is okay. Waterbomb right now, I would like to think is the most popular like festival for like people in their 20s.
It's probably this or the Psy ones he holds in the summer, right?
That's not really a festival though, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah, true.
if you look at that lineup, I feel like that's a perfect capture of like who is popular with the people in their 20s. You got people listening to rap music, you got people listening to the K-pop stuff. Maybe you could have thrown in a band here and there, but like given that this is a water festival, like maybe not them, you know what I mean? Hey,
This is pretty exciting. A lot of these people have already done Water Bomb in the past.
yeah,
Sure.
yeah. Sunmi, Eunbi, yeah. Excited to see Nayeon on the list. Like that's not expected.
That's pretty big for her.
Yeah.
All right, next one. The Boys are going to have a world tour called Zeneration 2.
Ooh.
They're stopping in Seoul, New York, Atlanta, Dallas, Los Angeles, San Jose, Bangkok, Jakarta, Manila, Macau, Kuala Lumpur, Paris, London, and more.
Ooh.
Ooh.
That's a lot of stops.
All right, so they're going to Korea, 4 stops in the US, or 5 stops in the US, and then a bunch of 4 stops or 5 stops in other Asian countries, and then Paris and London. It's kind of a world tour, but it's better than some of their other people do, you know?
Dude, it's better
Some
than
people-
some of the other Asian world tours that are like 3 countries in Asia, 3 countries in Europe.
Hey, speaking of kind of scuffed world tours, we have the Lucy world tour, right?
Oh, ooh.
They're going to a lot of dates in in North America, but just look how tightly packed it is. They're going to Toronto on the 23rd, then they're going to Montreal on the 26th. I mean the 24th, 1 day later.
Oh my
then
God.
2 days later in Boston, 1 day later in New York City, 1 day later in Philadelphia, 2 days later Pittsburgh, 1 day later Cleveland, 1 day later Detroit, 2 days later Chicago, 2 days later Kansas City, 1 day later Oklahoma City, 2 days later Austin, 1 day later Dallas, 2 days later Phoenix, 1 day later Las Vegas, 1 day later LA, 2 days later San Jose, 2 days later Portland, 2 days later Seattle, 2 days later Vancouver.
I'm sorry, what the fuck?
It's so packed.
Wait, 1,
Less than a month, they're doing all of those stops.
5, 6, 7,
It's
8,
20.
9,
It's
10.
20.
20 stops.
20 stops in less than a month.
That's terrible.
Some of these shows, like Philly, and like some of these shows, like Austin to Dallas, it's a pretty far drive. they have to drive, do the sound check, and then do the show. Like boom, boom, or like Phoenix to Las Vegas. They're gonna have to drive probably.
Man, yeah, though this is
Phoenix to let me do Las Vegas. Phoenix to Las Vegas is a 5-hour drive. They're doing that back to back. And then you're gonna do Las Vegas to San Jose. You got a 2-day layover, but that's like an 8-hour drive. This is intense.
That's intense. That's an whole ass program. I mean, like.
Hopefully they're sponsored by an energy drink, right? Like they're gonna need it. They're gonna need it.
Yeah, they will.
I don't know how they're gonna like do that, but like, best of luck.
I mean,
seems like a hellish schedule.
Honestly, like, I really hate saying this, but like, they don't really need to visit all of these cities.
Just think about this, right? You go to Toronto, you're fresh. You gotta drive 5.5 hours to Montreal.
Yep.
Concert.
Okay. Toronto, Montreal, Boston, New York, all of that makes sense. Then you do Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, Cleveland, Detroit, Chicago. I'm like, that could have been 2 cities.
Hey, I'm sure the fans of Lucy are excited though in all these regional spots that generally don't get as many concerts.
You know, I'm honestly, that's why I hate saying that. But like at the same time, like I want them to be at their best when they perform. So that's where that's coming from. I hope you understand.
Let me look up Garden Theater Detroit. Never seen this venue before.
I haven't either.
They're doing it. Okay.
All right.
That's all the news for this week. Next week, in terms of the music, we have N-Chive's debut, Artemis pre-release, DKZ, and Boy Next Door.
Oh.
After the break, Warren and I are going to be talking about the state of SM entertainment. We'll see you guys then. 3, 2, 1.
And here's an extra special shout out to all of our Fiesta Patreons on patreon.com. Bagel, Charles, Cotton Ball, Ellie, Irv Sean, Gogu Mama, Honey Pools, Liam's Games and Toys, Luke Daniels, NJ Parks, South Texas Once, Siu Sumi. And thank you for joining Soju Talk, your weekly shot of K-pop.
And special thanks to our Discord server mods: Jacob, K Music Air Day, Koala, Max, No Bias Nuda, Tuggles, and Wolf297.
All right, after shows, we're gonna talk about SM 3.0. What's going on at the company? Is it good, bad, or just the same?
I mean,
All right.
we're gonna talk about how we feel, not the facts, if that makes any sense. We've covered all the facts in the coming episodes, but earlier this week, I ran into a Reddit post on r/Kpop Thoughts, and it said, "We are witnessing slowly SM losing its legacy." And I was like, boy, dude, they spelled losing incorrectly. That's how you know they're losing its legacy. But hey, I still thought there's a couple good points here. The post reads like this. So, Boa announced through Instagram she wants to take a retirement after her active contract expires. Recently, we have seen SHINee members leave the company too. Some members of Super Junior also left. EXO CBX also left. There is a rumor that Joy, Wendy, Yeri have still not renewed their contracts. People are suspecting that all 3 of them might leave their company. There's another rumor saying that another big SM name will leave the company soon, which is shocking everybody. Most probably SM will soon only be left with NCT, aespa, Rise, and a new girl group. As I am reading this post a little more carefully, I'm realizing English is probably not their first language. Now I feel awful about making fun of their spelling. So I would like to publicly apologize to this person. But hey, I think the point still stands. There is a bit of a concern at the moment with the SM family fans because the SM old heads, which typically stay around, are bouncing out. They're popping out.
Typically, they stay around like they're not. It used to be SM. You're a lifer, you know.
Yeah.
Like if you're both popular or successful enough, they even put you on like management jobs, you know, desk jobs at a certain point.
It's
or
either you
ambassador
become a
jobs.
huge SM person for the rest of your life, or you get into a lawsuit 4 years into your career and you call them a slave contract.
Yeah, but to be fair, a lot of people have left recently. Taemin, Super Junior, DNE, Kyuhyun, Sunny from Girls' Generation, EXO, Dio. Like, a lot of these people are in that weird state where they're saying they're still doing the group stuff, but their individual stuff is not at the company anymore.
Right.
The EXO, Chen, Baekhyun, Shumin, like people like that. They've all kind of left recently. Onyu this week. Bo was kind of like, I might be dipping too, you know?
Right. And like, that's not a great look. I'm not gonna lie. It's not a great look. It's not a great look. Here is the folks that are still left in SM Entertainment. We have
Translations are, we have calm, glass, and swimming.
bro. I'm not gonna read the translations. This is awful. I'm going back.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
All right, we got Taeyeon, Hyoyeon, Yuri, and Yuna of Girls' Generation that are still around in SM, as well as the 4 members of aespa. We have Kian, Mino, and Shiny. We have all of the NCT family, which includes Wavy and the former NCT member Lucas, as well as the producer Raiden, as well as the upcoming asset SM New Girl Group. We have the 2 members of TVXQ. We have the 5 members of Red Velvet. Regardless of what the rumors are, they're still around for the time being, although it is true 3 of them have not re-signed their contracts yet. And then after that, we have the Super Junior kids, 6 of which are now a part of SM Entertainment instead of the, whatever 10 or so it was before. EXO, only 4 of the members are a part of SM Entertainment. And then Rise, which, Rise is new, so you can't really say that.
They still lost the kid, though. They still did.
They still lost the kid. And
we
then
have Novice.
we have Novice debuting later in the year. That's still a thing. Remember her? You also have the British boy band that's coming soon, later in the year. Not a lot of information. We talked about the last week, right?
Yeah, I'm thinking about this as a whole, right? It's like, to be real fair, I'm going to be blatantly honest now. Hopefully it's not in an offensive way, but I'm just going to say some stuff.
Okay.
Right? Red Velvet, for all intents and purposes, has had the most of its run, right?
Probably.
There might be some, but they've had a full run, right?
Yes.
EXO has had a full run. Super Junior has had a full run, right? The groups that they're still trying to build up and take to new heights are aespa and Rise at the moment, and this new girl group that's eventually, and NCT probably too, because they added new units to it, right? So NCT, but a lot of NCT has had a run, but NCT, I'll still categorize them as they're still pushing them hard. We have aespa, we have Rise, and then we have the new girl group that's in the works, right? Those are like, it seems like that the 3.0 people, Kakao, who's ever running SM right now, seems like those are the 4 things we're pushing hard, right?
Yeah.
And then it seems like everyone else who's at the company, like Key, Taeyeon, any of the random people in other groups, they kind of have to it feels like they kind of have to push harder to get their own stuff. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I'm still here.
Yeah.
I'm still good, But in terms of groups that they're actively pushing up higher and higher, seems like it's those 4 things, right?
Yeah. And I don't know, I understand Hive has a million assets under them nowadays. So does DJ. But having a strong set of 4 entities that are really popular, I wouldn't be too concerned. If let's one of them is NCT. That's 4 groups put together into one.
NCT is a top 3 guy group entity right now.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
And then we have aespa, who's doing pretty well for all intents and purposes. We have Rise, which has had a very successful debut. And we have this new girl group, which is very highly anticipated whenever it comes out, right?
Right. That's still a thing. Here's the thing, though. So we're slowly getting to the conclusion right now that, hey, we have a solid what's the word?
New core.
Right, we have a new core. We have a solid roster at the moment. We don't have to be too concerned. And I do agree with that. But it also comes with the caveat that we have a new core. New cores tend to be not as strong as solid foundational cores. And while we are making this transition, we are also expanding a whole bunch. That new group that's coming out. Novice. We have this other British boy group that's coming out. Rise is still pretty new. We're investing a lot of money, while money that flows in might be a bit in the flux. You know what I mean? So there is a bit of risk there. I'm not gonna beat around the bush there, but if you think about how K-pop groups are typically run, that's very typical. SM has been the exception because they tend to be a huge company that can afford to have a very big safety net. That's why they've been able to do a lot of musical experiments all the time. You know what I mean? Like,
I was thinking about this. It's not that SM is even falling off. Like, there is changes going on clearly structurally because of the acquisition from Kakao and all that.
Right.
But it's more that it's just that Hybe is doing so well that it makes everyone else look bad. Like, I don't think SM might be even doing bad. It's just that Hybe's doing so crazy right now that people are like, well, SM's lost their touch. They're not the number one company anymore. The prestige is gone.
I understand, but at the same time, it's not very common for everyone to leave at the same time.
I get that.
Yeah.
I get that. But at a certain point, like if you think about the way SM was run while Isuman was there, he really liked the term SM family. Like, we are a family.
Right.
We will keep you under SM whether you are pulling in a ton of money or not because of what you have done for the company in your time there, right? That's what it felt like. They'll throw you a bone, let you subsist at the company, even though you're not raking in millions of dollars anymore, right?
So,
but
mostly.
now that this new management is around, the 3.0, and what do they care about? Clearly, they care about money a lot, right? Because of all the stuff we've been hearing about the company. They're probably like, well, some of these older people just, like, we don't see the intrinsic value of it, even though they should because of cultural legacy and all that other shit. But it just seems like they don't as much.
I do want to make a bit of a side note here and say that SM also, when he was around, did make a lot of choices to just kick people out when they didn't make a lot of money.
Very true. That's very true.
I'm thinking about a specific Amber and a specific FX, you know, like that was the thing. FX in general, but it does feel a little strange and it does feel a little funky that I don't know. Here's the other side of it. SM Entertainment isn't like a lot of companies in K-pop. It did a lot of what Hybe did many years ago, by really, and I'm gonna sound like I'm at work when I'm saying this, but they really diversified their portfolio very early on. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
They got a whole you know the thing, they invested a lot into the actor and like entertainer section of their company. You know what I mean? Kang Ho-dong is there. I'm gonna read off the Korean version because I'm just that. Wait, is Kang Ho-dong not there anymore? Oh my god! Wait, hold up. I'm gonna pull up SMCNC. This is their SMCNC is their like models, actors, entertainment / like production.
No, Kang Ho-dong is still there.
Kang Ho-dong still there. Okay. Oh, I found the list. Okay. Kang Ho-dong, 전현무, 서장훈, like all of these, Hwang Jae-sung, like all of these like major big names in the entertainment industry, they're still around. They're still pulling in big money. They're producing a shit ton of like shows, like TV shows, YouTube shows. That's a whole thing they do. Like, I understand a big part of the reason we decided Mr. SM was crazy was because he was investing into like weird shit here and there. But he also made a lot of right calls in terms of like, ooh, let's try. They were reducing their reliance on like major broadcasting networks. They went online pretty early, you know, stuff like that. So given all of that foundation, like I don't think they're gonna, shit their bed immediately anytime soon. Like they still have a good source of income, even if all these new groups kind of shit the bed. Although,
even though they're not even shitting the bed.
That's the thing. Like they're not shitting their beds. No.
Just because aespa is not as big as like New Jeans is at the moment, even though aespa had a top 20 selling album last year, right? You remember we talked about that?
Right.
Where it was just IVE and New Jeans, no, not just IVE and aespa in the top 20.
IVE and
was
aespa
last week.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're doing fine. They're pulling in as much money as possible.
Now, here's a real concern I have though. With SM Entertainment and the way they've made music in the last like decade or so, they made a lot of adventurous choices. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
Yeah. Some of it has been really good and way ahead of the trend and like stuff we still listen to. View by Shiny, Four Walls by FX. Shit like that. Bangers that still stand up today. They've also done stuff like Zimzalabim by Red Velvet. Yeah. But they've also done Bad Boy by Red Velvet, but they've also done Really Bad Boy by Red Velvet. You know what I mean? Like there's been like... They tend to try things that are very much outside of the box. Largely because they fucking can. And why is that possible? Because they have a lot of money and they have a lot of money to waste and they have that safety net.
Yeah.
That seems to be a lot less the case these days with the SM discography.
Yeah. It kind of just seems like, I guess the overall opinion people have been having lately is like, all the music just sounds like NCT music, Yeah,
like they've been blending a lot. Like, never mind Got the Beat. That's like not even a major thing, right? Red Velvet's still out there doing their thing, but like, I remember like we were talking about Rise with Love 119 and we were talking about their similarities with NCT. aespa they're still doing music that resembles their earlier stuff, but kind of still has that. It became I don't know. I really don't want to say this, but like it became a little more generic with Spicy.
I like Spicy.
I like Spicy too.
I like Spicy
too. But like I'm just saying, if I think about what I really enjoy from SM Entertainment is that they are very well aware of the fact that they have a safety net financially and they don't waste it by taking a lot of creative risk, and we need that.
Before 3.0, they were swinging it. They were taking some swings, like the whole aespa AI thing that's just gone to the wayside.
I'm not saying they made all the right calls. We have Zimzalabim.
To be fair,
Zimzalabim, folks.
That aespa cinematic universe we were getting for a while was really cool, and then they just kind of gave up on that.
Yeah.
They made like those movies, those 10-minute movies or whatever.
Yeah,
but. I don't know. At the end of the day, it's like the whole Kakao acquiring SM has been a mess. People can see that. There's lawsuits still going on about it, right?
Right.
People also saw that Hybe was going to take them over, and everyone views Hybe positively right now because everything Hybe touches right now has been gold lately, right?
Yeah.
All their new groups have been gold. The Seraphim's popping off, I-DLE's popping off, things like that, right? Even To Us, right? Who's at Pledis, which is under Hybe, right?
Yeah.
They're all popping off right now, so everyone can see that happening, and they automatically think, well, because Hybe is doing so bad, SM must be losing the war, right? Is what they're thinking. They have lost first place. That's unequivocal, right? At this point, but does that mean they're doing bad? I don't think so. I think they're doing fine. They just got to figure out what's going on now. But does that mean there's going to be growing pains where the model of keeping people around is going to change and people are going to leave? Definitely. We can all see that happening right now. Is that a good thing? Maybe, maybe not, right? But at the end of the day, they're going to have a business strategy if they want to compete with Hybe in the long run.
I mean,
right?
Here's the thing. I don't think this is going to go on forever. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
you think they're going to figure it out?
No. Here's what I mean. Like, everybody is right now. Okay, a lot of people are leaving SM Entertainment right now.
So this is like a sports rebuilding era right now.
Right,
a sports team rebuilding era.
I mean, like, think about, let's say you had a 9-to-5 and you had a job and your leadership changed. A lot of people who are close to the leadership,
they're going to get fired.
They're going to get fired, or they're going to just bounce out on their own to a different company. I understand that we're in a change of we're in a period of change and a period of transition. Is the legacy gonna change? Yes, yes, that is inevitable. That's just how it is. But I don't think they're just gonna shit the bed and just lose the war immediately, and they're gonna be K-pop hoo-hoos. That's not
fine.
No.
Fine.
Yeah.
I think there's other companies that have bigger problems. I ain't gonna mention them.
You mentioned one earlier on the show.
Yeah.
Why did you have to do that?
Well,
You poked me right where it hurts, sir.
Oh, I mentioned. Oh, I thought. Okay, I mentioned your company. I mentioned JYP's having hiring issues.
Oh, okay, JYP.
I think YG's having an identity crisis at YG proper, right? Like, or a lot of these other companies. I think what happened was these companies, YG, JYP, SM, were so comfortable in their defined roles in the industry, and they were kind of happy being. Oh, I'll take 30% each. We'll take like 25% of the industry each, and we'll just do our own thing. We'll make our own music. The groups were very distinct from each other, right? Like Twice, Red Velvet, Blackpink were all very distinct from each other. We'll do our own thing. Everything's going well. It's all a honky-dory. And then, HYBE and BTS all of a sudden decide, like, let's just disrupt everything. We'll change everything you've known about the industry.
They disrupted the K-pop industry. Oh, man.
They literally did, though.
Oh,
did
man.
They not? They changed it from a big three to a one and then a couple under them now, right?
True, yeah.
Like, it's true. They disrupted everything, and all these companies are having to make these changes to kind of to do what they think's going to catch back up. And these are the growing pains of that. And they might be losing their legacy on a person by person standpoint. Like if let's say the big name is Taeyeon or something that leaves, people are going to say, holy shit, Taeyeon's leaving. How are we going to function? But at the end of the day, when aespa releases their next track and they're selling a top 20 amount and they're the number 2 girl group in terms of sales, I don't think corporate's going to care all too much, even though they probably should, right?
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to. Which is sad, because I like legacy. I think history and legacy is a very important thing in general, but it's a business at the end of the day.
Hey, I mean, at the end of the day, nothing lasts forever. Things come to an end.
Kind of sad, though. It's like fizzling.
I mean, here's the thing. I've been a fan of Korean hip hop long enough to say a lot of my favorite groups or companies have left.
Yeah, you guys are in the dark ages. I've been reading about the K-hip hop dark age.
We talked about AOMG last week. Yeah. Just Music or AP Alchemy is definitely in that realm too. Highlight left, VMC left. It was like,
Doki's album didn't chart. I heard about this.
Why do people care about Doki's album?
I don't know. I was reading about it on a subreddit. They were talking about like, oh my god, it didn't even chart.
Doki's album never charted anywhere. I wouldn't be concerned about that. I would be concerned about all the people leaving OMG. I'd be concerned with all the money going to AP Alchemy not doing well. I'd be concerned with the money from CJ not flowing into hip hop anymore. That's a whole different topic though. That's a lot of red flags, guys. That's a lot of red flags. This is not a red flag. No.
This is just people freaking out when they don't need to. You could freak out once like Kakao gets hammered in a lawsuit and they say they need to sell their shares. Then you could freak out, right? And some people might say, well, HYBE's just gonna buy it and then it's gonna fix itself, So there's always SM as a company. I think is too big to fail intrinsically. They have enough powerful acts where I wouldn't worry too much. Now, will your favorite old person in the company leave? It might happen, but you could still support them in their endeavors. It's not like they're going away forever.
This is true. If Taeyeon leaves SM,
people are still gonna line up to buy Taeyeon albums and see her in concert.
Same. It's gonna be Taeyeon, yeah.
Honestly, I'm kind of surprised Taeyeon or Key hasn't left the company yet. It kind of seem like they're doing real well on the variety front right now.
Well, we shall see.
All right. It's not that I wouldn't call this a depressing topic. I would just call this like we gotta have perspective topic.
It's a hopeful topic, if anything, right?
Next week, I will not be here. I'm going on a mini family vacation, like a 2-night vacation somewhere.
Fun.
I will not be there. Should be fun. We don't know if there's going to be an episode next week. There's not the most exciting releases. I already did this last week too. Let's just put it this way. The releases next week might not be the biggest groups ever. So there is a slight chance we take a break. If we do, we'll see you guys in 2 weeks. If they don't, Warren and Anita might do a catch-up episode or they might do a regular episode. You'll have to see, guys. But we'll see you guys next time, everyone. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.